Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here again today. Good evening. I'm sure we're all happy, right? Good evening. Oh, good evening. Where are my people now? If you are here with me, just type now. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Good evening. Tell me good evening. Good evening. How's it going? Good evening. How's it going? How's it going? How's the weekend? I'm sure it's fun, right? Oh, Labi, good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Umaze. Wesley. Olayemi, good evening. Good evening. Happy good evening. I'm so excited to be here again. And I'm sure you are too, right? Are you happy to be seeing me again? Abisolami, good evening. Good evening. Vivian, good evening. Esther, good evening. I'm still looking I'm still looking to see some people. Olayemi, good evening. Good evening. I'm happy to have you too. Osaje, happy. Chuku Favor, good evening. You're one of the people I was waiting to see. Where is Miss K? Tammy, thank you. I'm happy to have you too. Kinde, good evening. All right, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. All right. Okay. Joanna, good evening. Good evening. It's so good to be back here. It's so good. Feels so good. So I'll do a quick apology, right? A number of us has been trying to chat me privately on Telegram, and I've not been able to respond to anyone. I sincerely apologize for that. I'll try my best to respond to everybody, but still, you can ask me your questions. I'll definitely answer. Right. So apologies. As I've seen the messages, but I've not yet responded. I would. Jadisola, good evening. Good evening. All right. Today we want to look at one very interesting topic. Right. Very, very interesting subject. Let me give you a disclaimer, right? And that disclaimer is, in fact, I've been practicing this, when I started early. This subject we're going to talk about, I've been practicing it, but I didn't really know that there was a framework, you know, that explains what I've been practicing, right? Until when I started to, grow, when I started to, I had to learn my onions and be good at it, right? So this is something we're going to be looking at, and we're going to be doing it together. Of course, you already know that I really like that we interact in my classes, and I really like to get feedbacks from everybody. All right, so we'll be looking at prioritization framework. That's English, Abby. What it simply means is how you prioritize in product management. How you prioritize, how you know what should come first, right? But before we go into that, right? I hope you are even ready for me, because we are going to be doing this together. We're going to have to do this together. If you are here with me on this, say I am here. I am here. If you are here with me on this, just let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know before we shoot. Let me know. All right. Thank you, Jadisola. Thank you. Thank you. Who else is here with me on this? Thank you, Martha. I've been trying to look for you. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Kainde. Thank you, Roslyn. Thank you, Tomilola. Yeah, Timmy. Thank you. All right. So before I go into that, because it's going to be good evening, Grace. It's going to be quite an interesting section, right? But before we go into all of that, thank you, Paris. So just type in the chat what you learned in our last class. What you learned in our last class. You know, it's very important for me to know that I'm not sowing my seed on rocky ground. I want to be sure that everybody gets something out of the class. So quickly, in the next 5 minutes, just let me know what you learned in the last class. Let me know. 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 What did you learn in the last class? Quickly. Quickly, I'm waiting. What did you learn in the last class? Importance of stakeholder. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cal Consult. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Sharp. Internal and external stakeholders. Great. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Product roadmap. Great. The role of stakeholders. Great. Meaning a roadmap, types of roadmap. Okay, great. Let's wait for three more people. Product roadmap is the visual plan. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you. SWFJ, thank you. Key roles of stakeholder, thank you. Silokwe, thank you, Temi. All right. All right. So I think I'm now sure that I am not pouring seeds on rocky grants. I'm sure that I am actually role of stakeholders and road mapping of the product. Okay, great. Dr. Ambition. Thank you, Kinde. So I'm sure that at the end of this training, we will have product managers that knows their onions. All right, thank you so much. I'm really happy, at least. I'm really happy with your feedback. So today we'll go into the thank you, Duro. We'll go into what we have for today. So I will share my screen, right? And just let me know when you can see my screen. All right, great. All right. Stakeholders should be involved early. Great. Thank you, Laim. All right, I think I'll just shoot. So I want to tell you stuff, right? And I've always mentioned to us that I like that we have the hands-on knowledge of what we're learning. We can always go to YouTube, always go to, Google. You get resources. You can get all the grammars. You can learn all the grammars. You can learn all those terminology. Is good, right? But what's more important to me is that we get on the job and we know what to do, right? We get on the job and we know what to do, because hands-on experience, right, is a million times worth more than whatever certification, whatever theory you want to learn. So it helped me. For one, I was able to start working on live project 6 months into the space. Why? Because I was opportune to actually deal with. I had hands-on experience more. It was after I've learned on the job that I went, there are different routes to getting into the space that I now started to, try to do some learning so that I can understand, some terminologies, some of these things that are involved in. But what is more important to me and what is very crucial to me is you understanding what to do. If you get on a job now, you already know what to do and how to go about what to do. And that's why I'm taking this approach, right, with us. I want us to be able to relate with everything I'm saying. And please don't forget that at any point you seem to lose me, just let me know. I promise I'll come back, right? So now this framework that I'm about to teach us, there are more. I'll be focusing on two of the frameworks. We'll get into all of that. That's Rice and Moscow, right? But then there are more frameworks when it comes to the prioritization framework. There are a lot more frameworks. But then as a product manager, there are certain questions that you already have to learn to ask and find answers to. You trying to answer these questions will always already help you prioritize. Now, you asking certain questions and having answers to certain questions will already help you prioritize. Now, you might not be able to tell this is this framework I'm using, this is this framework I'm using, but then you are doing what is right because you understand the rudiments of you being a product manager. Now, one of the questions you must always ask as a product manager is the question of why. Question of why. When they tell you this is this, you want to know why. When they say, okay, we are building the user registration first, you want to know why. Why are we building it first? You understand? You want to know why. Find out why of everything, right? Why. The second question that is very crucial for product managers, right, is knowing the answers to when. Ask your questions when. We want to do this when. When can we finish it? What is the impact? When? It's very important, right? The third question is how. You want to find out how. When you find out why, when you find out when and how, you are easily able to prioritize, right? Even without first understanding the framework. The framework is good, and we're going to go into that. I'm just helping you to understand some things you should know. So if you come to me now, right, and say, okay, we are building, we have this Food Easy product that we're looking at. So we'll continue with that. We are building Food Easy. And the stakeholder comes and say that we are going to build user authentication as a feature. We're going to build recommendations as a feature. We're going to build cart management as a feature. We're going to build, what's it called now? We are going to integrate payment gateway, right? So me as a product manager, part of the questions I want to ask is, why do we need recommendation? Now, I want someone to help me list this out so that I want to use that Food Easy app to answer our questions, right? I want to use that Food Easy app. Now, let's list out some features that would be on the Food Easy app, right? So can someone just help me type it out on the this thing? So the features that we want to have the user registration. That is all right. Are you asking me why we should list it out? Anyways, we are a product manager so that we can understand, so that we can have a clue of what we are doing. That is why. Okay. Can someone just help me list it out? User registration, that's one of the features. 2, restaurant listing, a list of restaurants. Restaurant listing, let's write that too. The third one, let's have a menu display, right? Menu display. So who is listening for me, please? Menu display. All right, menu display. All right, another thing would be the cart management. I hope someone is listening it for me, please. Payment gateway integration. I'm not seeing anybody listening it for me. Payment gateway integration rather. Thank you. Yeah. Payment gateway. Order tracking. Order tracking. Okay. Order tracking. Okay. Customer support or the chat or help desk, something like that. Okay. Also have no, you are not in project, you are in product management. Product management, not project. All right. Let's also add let's add recommendation, personalized recommendation. Personalized recommendation. Okay. This is just me thinking through the features that will be on our on our food app. All right. We also want to have push notifications, push notifications, push notifications, uh, push notifications. I think we also want to have like a loyalty program. Maybe we want to start to introduce what do they call them now? Coupons. We want to start to slash the price for our regular customer. So loyalty programs. Add that to loyalty program. Add that. Okay. All right. We also want to add multiple payment multiple payment method. Multiple payment method. So you want to go beyond just paying with transfers. You want to integrate being able to pay with your card, digital wallet. Maybe you want on your app they should be able to pay with bitcoins, right? Multiple payment method. Let's have that too. Maybe you want to even include Apple Pay so that they can use Apple Pay to pay for your food. You want to use yeah. Social media sharing. So list all of that out. Do you know why I want us to list all of that out? So when we talk about this framework by yourself, if you have discussed it and to show that you have understood it, now this list of features that I have listed, you will tell me, looking at this framework, which is more important, right? Which of these features is more important? Thank you. Is there a way I can pin this? We can pin this so that we can always refer back to it. So if you look at all of these features that I have listed out, that I have thought through, right? These features I have thought through, you can easily ask questions like why. For example, now I included loyalty program. You can easily ask, why do we need loyalty program? Right? Why do we need cart management? Why do we need to track our orders? You understand? So you answer those questions, right? So I mean, don't let me bug you with all of this conversation. Let's go into what I pointed out, so that from understanding the framework, we'll come back to this list of features, and we now start to prioritize them based on this framework that we're looking into. All right. Hmm. Thank you, Vivian, for customer retention. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you. Thank you. So you have your answers to why. But then another question would be that now, which is more important? Is it the loyalty program or the user authentication? User being able to log in, user being able to onboard, user being able to order food. Are you seeing it now? Now, loyalty program is good. It's a good to have, but is it as important as users coming to the platform, able to pick whatever restaurant they like, able to order their food, right? Able to make payments and their food gets to them. Now you're getting the gist. So that is really what we want to look at. So in off my head, I feel like without that loyalty program, what is more important is they should come buy their food and get out. Now, if I give them that, I can now start to do some advanced features. Advanced features. You understand? But no, don't let me already tell you all of that, right? So let me share my screen. Just let me know when you can see my screen. All right. Can you see my screen? Please let me know if you can see my screen, please. Let me know. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? You can? Oh boy. How about now? Okay. Oh, sorry. Let's try it again. All right, just give me a minute. Let's try it again. Okay. Why is my screen not showing? Okay. I mean, this should not be a showstopper for us then. I think I'll just continue. I don't know why this is not showing. I can see that I'm sharing already here. All right, I think we just have to continue. I mean, I don't think it's network. Just give me a minute. Let me see if there's a way I can sort this. All right. I think let's just continue. Don't let us don't let us hold back because of that. All right. Just bear with me, please. So now a lot of times, right, as a product manager, you will be faced with reasons why you need to prioritize, right? You'll be faced with reasons why you need to prioritize, right? Sometimes it could be the time that you need, right? It could be budget, it could be manpower. I mean, probably you have limited resources. For a quick example, I mean, one of the places I work, we needed to launch a newer version of our app, right? And at that time, we have limited resources. I mean, we needed more hands to be able to, wrap up with whatever we were building to meet up with the timeline that the management is expecting. But the problem is we don't have We don't have enough. We don't have enough hands on deck, right? And the organization is not hiring. Is not hiring, right, at that moment, right? The organization is not hiring. Even if they want to hire, being an enterprise, sometimes it might take as long as 4 months. It might take as long as 6 months. It might take as long as 3 months. And you know that time would affect our own delivery. Now, in cases like that, you have to prioritize, right? Do you agree? Do you agree? Cases like that, you have to prioritize, right? Do you agree with me? The times where you don't have enough resources, you don't want to waste time doing things that are not important. So you have to prioritize, right? So there is another case of you wanting to achieve one thing, the stakeholders want you to do another thing. What I mean is this. For you, you think that, for example, the Food Easy app that we're talking about, I want to build Food Easy app. And for me, in my first version of the app that would go out, I think what's more important for me is the customers doing the basic stuff, right? Customers doing the basic stuff, right? All right. So, sorry, I got distracted. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to see. All right, I think you should be able to see my screen now. All right, can you see my screen now, please? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think my screen is now on. All right, great, 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 great. All right. So then you would see that I was talking about why prioritization is very important, right? There are times where, oh, great, thank you. I'm glad you can now see my screen. There are times where um, I've given you an example of when we want to build a product, but then if we want to hire, it would take nothing less than 4 months, right? It might take nothing less than 6 months, and we have limited resources, right? We had limited resources. So, but then we need to just continue to work. We can't, because of the fact that we have limited resources, not work. Now, the next thing to do as a product manager is to learn to prioritize. What do I mean? I think of what is more important. I want my team to focus on what is more important. You understand? So there are also times where there might be competing priorities. For example, I was referring to the cooking app, right? The Food Easy app, rather. Our app that we're looking at, the Food Easy app. You know, for that Food Easy app, in my own mind, what I think is more important is users being able to, you know, come on the platform, choose where they want to order from, order their food, and get out of the app. Now, another stakeholder might think that, that's all what I want, everything I want for the first version of the app, right? The first version that would be eating the face of the customers. That's what I want. But the stakeholders can come and say that they want something different. They want to have a loyalty program because they feel like if customers have coupons and all of that, they will be able to use the app the more. I'm saying coupon is not important. You understand? So some of these times, stakeholders will come with a list of features. I bet you, especially in this our Western culture, right? A lot of times, people who really have influence over a product, maybe people who is even paying you to build a product, they can just wake up one morning and decide that they want to have this on their product. They can wake up one morning, maybe they spoke with Daddy Tope, and Daddy Tope thinks that he wants this feature. They will just come and meet you, build this feature. They wouldn't even think if the feature will only benefit Daddy Tope and will not benefit the other users. Now, are you seeing why prioritization is very important in product management? Are you seeing it? Right? So it's very important that you prioritize so that you will not keep running around circles. You will not keep running around circles. If you don't prioritize, you'll just find out that you might never even end a project. For example, you are supposed to just build your first version of your product, build the authentication, have a place where they can see the list of restaurants they can order from, let them see the foods they can order, right? You understand? Sarah says because I thought we has money. Yes. Let them see the food they want to order, and the next minute, they order their food and they go. You understand? So that in itself already delivers value to customer. But then if you want to look at Daddy Tokwe's opinion, Daddy Tokwe will come today. Let us have loyalty reward. Tomorrow, let recommendation happen. Next tomorrow, it comes to something else. Upper week, it will come with something else. You understand? If you are not careful, you would not be able to even finish one thing. At the end of the day, you won't have a product. So prioritization is a core, right? Is a core. It's very, very important in product management. It's very, very important, right? It's very, very important. All right. Hope you see the reasons why you need to prioritize, right? Hope you see the reasons. You will be able to deliver maximum value. Sure, you get. If you get to say I get it. If you get to say I get it. I'm waiting. So people have a lot of ideas. I'm telling you, a lot of ideas. A lot of ideas. A lot of ideas. Priority will change. They will say the market is demanding this. And tomorrow, crypto is now the thing in vogue. Let your payments, let's use Bybit. Let's use what's it's called now? Bitcoin as our means of exchange. All right, all these are fine. But is it what is very important? What is the quickest way for someone to pay? What is the quickest way for people to just get their food and get out? Do we even want to be collecting cash? What would make the life of the users easy? You understand? So ideas no dey finish. That's the truth. When you are building products, ideas never end. You never run out of ideas. I bet you. You will never run out of idea. You understand? So, and the truth is, a lot of times too, stakeholders, because of their personal opinion, what they think, not because of the market research, not because of what the customer actually really needs, but because of what they think, they can come and tell you that we must do this, we must do this, we must do this. For example, I think that people getting a badge, you understand? People getting a badge for their constant patronage is a good to have. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. And I can also think that that is one of the first things that should go out when we are launching this app. It is my opinion. I am not asking the question that I'm not answering the question of why do we need it? What impact would it have on my customers? You understand? So a lot of times, all of these things, because of all of these things that will come and we will face, people want to change priorities. Your guy wants us to do something else and something else. You will just keep running around. Let me give you a quick example, right? So we usually we have different environments when you're building products, right? We have, the QA environment, we have staging, and we have the production, right? The QA environment is like the environment where after they have written all their code, all their whatever, you can push and you can start to interact with the app, right? It's like the dev environment. You understand? Now we have the staging environment, right? The staging is just like the mirror of the production environment. That staging, everything that is on production, you will see it on the staging environment, right? But the difference between the staging environment and the staging environment is only accessible to like internal users. Customers, live users would not see that staging environment, right? They would only see like, so from staging environment, we can move everything on staging to production environment, and that is where users can start to interact. So there was a time we had a bit of issue with that QA environment, right? And I had a list of things to achieve for a certain sprint. Everything I wanted to achieve was already on the staging environment, right? And from the staging environment, we can now push it to live so that users can start to interact. But then, while we were at that, we just got a directive that, guys, so my own plan was once we are done with everything we have on staging environment and we can push to production and customers can start to interact and we are fine, no complaint. The next thing for us that should be our priority would be to stabilize our QA environment. Because a lot of times is that QA environment is where you can make your tweak, you can make your adjust, you can test, you can try to break anything so that your staging environment is perfect, your production environment is perfect. You don't want your customers to start to interact with your app and they start to complain, right? So my next priority for that project was, okay, when we are done with this bit, we'll go back to try to stabilize our QA environment. Then we now got a directive from our guy that, you know what, this is what you should do. This is what we should do. Now, prioritization had to set in. And I had to weigh between what they told me to do and what I had in plan to do. Now, I asked them that, okay, why do you think this is more important than this? They will have a reason. Now, the next thing to ask is, now, is it advisable for us to now be developing, to have developers work on the staging environment? You understand? Now, I had to have that conversation. Then we have to reprioritize. Then we have to tell them that, you know what, this QA environment, now it is very important to have what this feature you are asking for, right? But we don't also want to make mess of the staging environment. So I think that the customers will not die if they don't have this feature now. But there will be problem if our QA environment is not stable, because we cannot just go ahead and start building things on staging environment. Once the staging environment has problem, we are in soup. So in the next 4 months, I now ask, don't mind me, I usually ask very funny questions. And I asked those people, and I said, would the customer die if in the next 4 months they don't use this feature? He said, no, they would die. Can you see how prioritization is coming to play? So at the end of the day, they threw their own at me. I had my own plan, the list of things to do. But then at the end of the day, we were able to prioritize. Remember, I told you as a product manager, you're asking the question of why. Why do we need this? You understand? What is the impact of this? So that was how we were able to, they wanted to change my priority because of the feedback they got from one customer. But then I was able to make sure that they are in alignment and they should see what I am seeing, because you understand, I was able to tell them that, Baba, we are fanning flame, we want problem. In the next 4 months, these people will not die. But before the next 4 months, we would have stabled this environment. And we can now go back to this feature you're asking for. Can you see why we need to learn to prioritize as product managers? Right? You see why? We need to learn to prioritize. All right. So don't forget, go back and go and check the list of features that we have, right? The list of features that we have. So I listed a number of what's it called, prioritization framework, right? But what we'll be looking at, if you understand the way I'm talking to you, like if you can picture yourself in that environment and you're trying to make certain decisions, right? Either you like it or not, you have already started to apply these frameworks. You understand? But for today, we will look at just two of the frameworks, right? Two of the framework. We'll be looking at the Moscow framework and the Rice framework. Yeah. So the Moscow framework, don't mind that word. The Moscow framework is, out of the list of things that I have listed, out of all the features I have listed, out of all of the things that I want to do. Now I want to find out which one is a must-have. God bless you, John Omon. You understand? So I want to find out which one is a must-have. Which one is a should-have? Are you getting it? Which one is a could-have? And which one do you know that you will not even have? Right? Right? So you are looking at the list of that Food Easy app that we listed, the list of features that I have given you. Now you will now ask yourself, okay, of all this list of things that I have listed out, which one must we have? Right? Now, when you first answer the question of which one must we have, now, like I usually say, I'm not saying you're going to ask people, will customer die if we don't have this one? So when I now start to answer that, this one is a must-have, they can die. Nigerians are so fast to say rubbish app, failure. They can crash our business if we don't have this one. So we'll make sure that, okay, this is a must-have. This list of things is a must-have. Now, after I've listed the must-have, now I can now come again and say, okay, which one is should have? Now, understand that there are some features that you should have, but it's not very critical. Do you get me? You should have it, but it's not very what? Critical. Do you get that? It's not very, very critical. For example, the loyalty program on the list of things that we have is a should have. Do you agree? Do you agree? For customer retention, you should have like a reward system for your customers, but it is not a must have. Are you seeing it? Are you getting it at all? Are you getting it? I want to see your feedbacks. Are we getting it? Great. Thank you, Sarah. Are you getting it? So you need to be able to answer these questions. Must we have it? Is it critical? You know, I've always told us, and the way to answer this thing is, I've told us as product managers, right? Our users are in the back of our mind. We think of our users first. Now, if our user don't have this thing, would there be a problem? So, if you can answer that one, you are fine. Right? You are fine. You know that, okay, if these people don't have this thing, they will drag us. So, just for example, now, the Food Easy app, users can log in. When they log in, they can see the list of food they want to buy, but they cannot order for it and they cannot pay. What do you think will be their reaction? Let me see. Someone comment. What do you think will be their reaction? What do you think will be their reaction? Oh, what do you think will be their reaction? Anger. You understand? You brought me to your house and I'm hungry. And I'm hungry. And I'm hungry. But I am seeing food. I can't order for the food. Let, let me let me tell you a quick joke, right? When I was in Lagos, when I was in Lagos, I would easily just go to my app, right, and order for food, right? Child Tech, Jumia Foods, I would just go straight and order for food, and I will be rest assured that food will come and meet me. So one funny day, I left Lagos. I came down to somewhere in somewhere close to Lagos, but not Lagos, somewhere in Ogun State. So in my own mind, I thought the same way I was living my life in Lagos, that if I'm very hungry, just go to the Jumia food app, and order. Go to Glovo and order. Go to Chowdeck and order food and eat. So I went on these other apps, right? I saw that they already told me that there were no vendors available in my own area. So I went to one other app. Don't let me mention their name. After I went to that other app, I saw Tanties, right? They had Tanties there. Okay, me in my mind, I thought, okay, well, maybe because Tanties is what we have inside where I am. Oh yeah, let me order from Tanties now. I ordered for food. I ordered for my food. I made payments only for me to I was just waiting. I waited for I couldn't cry. I waited for almost 4 hours before I realized that they do not have any vendor in my area, but then they allowed me. Now just imagine how I would have felt. I was very furious and hunger has wanted to finish me. I was like, maybe I would have just gone downstairs or just called our local plugs around there to just let me bring food and I will eat. For me, I wanted to eat something different, and what I would get here is different. And now I ordered. I was waiting for my food to come, only for me to go and complain. Customer care is not telling me that do you do you do you get I mean, do you see the frustration? So right. So that's why it's very, very important for you to be able to prioritize. Just imagine that. Sure, you understand. So there's a must have, there's a should have, could have. Those could have are, I mean, nice to have, but we can postpone it. Now, in the list of things, I feel like crying. Grace is saying, hey, yeah, you want me to cry, Abby? All right. From the list of features I gave you off air for our Food Easy app, now you can see that a number of things are a must have. A number of things can be a should have. We should have it, but it's not critical. Will they die? No, they will not die. Could have. Now, you see that must have is very, very important. Should have is the next in command. Could have is nice to have, but we can postpone it. You understand? It's not very, very important. If they don't have it too, they won't even know. Is they could have. And there are some that is a not have. Baba, I can't waste my time. I can't waste my time and be building what I don't need. So, for example, an example of that could have is that personalized recommendation. You understand? I listed recommendation, personalized recommendation on our list of features that we should have. Now, for example, that personalized recommendation. Now, user can already come, They can already come, they can order their food, right? They can order their food and they go their way. They can track their order and they make their payment. You understand? They are fine. They are already fine. Once they can always come and order and have their food, you know they are already fine. Now, I now introduced loyalty reward. Okay, oh, for the top 100 um, customers, they will get 20% discount on their next order. You know, people will run and come to the app and want to use that 20% discount, right? Now, that is a should have, but it's not critical. What it does is it leads to customer retention. Now, in fact, it can lead to customer acquisition. People might want to come to that app because I am giving them discount. I know a lot of you are using OPay because of, you see that cash point that you're collecting, you now use it to buy card, right? A lot of us, we are using OPay. Don't worry, let me include myself. Because of spend and save. Now, spend and save is not a must have. I don't know if you are getting the way I'm thinking about this thing. You get. So, for me, I love to use OPay because it has spend and save. Spend and save is not a must have. But spend and save is making people like me come to OPay. You know why? Because I will just keep spending money, doing transfer, and I don't know that a portion of my money is going somewhere until when SAPA sets in. But we are children of God. SAPA cannot catch us. When SAPA sets in, you now go to your spend and save. You're not seeing like 100K. You're not seeing like 100K. Say, hey, so I have money. Wow. You, you understand? So that is a should have, but it's not very critical. What is more critical for me, for anybody, any customer, is they should come on the app and they're able to transfer. Now, people use OPay more because they are not scared of transferring. They are not scared that their money will hang. They are confident in transactions. This is what I'm doing on pay that for these people now. Right? So you can see that when you think through all of these things, it now helps you to be able to list out your features and be able to prioritize. Now, when you have learned this framework, you can even go to anybody and tell them, this is a must have. Why? Because this. You are going there with your facts. You have done your research. You are going to the table fiercely. This cannot work. What is more important is let user come. For example, Boat app. What you want to do, what is more important to you is you want to order your ride, get into your ride and get to where you're going to. Now, a good to have option on the OPay could be, all the advancement, on the riding app, all the advancements, you can bid for price, you can reduce price, you can do all of that. But the critical thing is I want to just get a car and get to where I'm going to. You understand? This one that some of you are doing like cent, like you are not using the spend and save too. Don't worry, we are all in this together. So, can you see? So you look at the list of things, you look at which one is a must have, which one is a should have, which one is a could have, right? What is critical for launch? What is critical to meet user needs, right? Should have. What is important, but they will not die if they don't have it? What is important, but they can still wait for 3 more months before they have it? What is important, but they can still wait for maybe 2 more weeks? But the must have is if they don't have it, we should not even go live. If you don't have it, just resign your job because Nigerians will come and break your head. If they don't have it, your product is useless. You understand? So could have, thank you. Social media sharing can be a could have. You understand? It's a nice to have, but can be postponed. Like All right. So that is how it works, right? Hope you are getting it. You better confess now if you are not getting it. Hope you are getting it. Because me, I will ask you to do an assignment here on this live. I will not wait for next week. You will do an assignment here on this live. Hmm? Are you getting it? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Sharp, sharp, sharp. Are you getting it? We are doing a quick assignment on this live. I'm not even going anywhere. We are doing it on this live. Are you getting it at all? At all? Let me see if you are getting it. All right, great, 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 beautiful. It's nice that you are getting it. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, beautiful. Oh boy, I am not training you guys, oh, but I need to be sure that you are getting it. Actually, it's very important to me that you get it. Right? It's very important to me that you get it. All right. So in the next 3 minutes before we go on our break, I have said a lot of things. Hmm? I have said a lot of things. So just list out. So after our break, we go into the RISE framework, and then when we go into the RISE framework, we now start to look at how we can now actually prioritize those list of things I've given to you. So each of you will take that list of things and start to prioritize it, and let me see. All right. Do we agree? It's not an assignment. It's a classwork. Happy. It's not an assignment. It's a classwork. It's not an assignment. Now classwork I give you. Uh-huh. So, but just hold on. So before we continue, before we go on break, we have 2 minutes to just go on, like 5 minute break. Go and drink water, rest and come back. So everything I have said too many English. We have start to be writing out what you have learned so far. What you have learned so far. In everything I have said plenty English. Oh yeah, start to be listening. I'm looking at the comment section. I'm looking at the comment section. What have you learned? What have you learned? In all of the stories I've been saying, what have you learned? What have you learned? Yeah, sharp, 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 sharp. If not, you won't go on break. Oh, me, I will go and leave you people, but you will not go. Yeah, sharp, sharp, sharp. What have you learned? What have you learned? Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Grace. All right. Great. All right. Tell me the meaning of Moscow framework. Moscow framework must have. I'm even telling you the answer again. I explained the Moscow framework. Yeah, list it out. Must have, could have, must have, should have, could have. Yeah, list it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm seeing your comment and I'm happy. All right. Thank you. I'm happy. All right. Let's go on the break for 5 minutes and we'll be back after 5 minutes. Go and drink water, you people, please. Oh, boy. All right, guys. Sorry. Mark your attendance. So it's very, very important. Mark your attendance. Mark your attendance. So welcome back. Welcome back. All right, guys. Sorry. Mark your attendance. Mark your attendance. So look at your neighbor and say, "Welcome, my neighbor." Don't mind me. I didn't unmute. Tell your neighbor, "Welcome, my neighbor." Welcome, my neighbor. You should be able to hear me now. Choosing. All right. Thank you. Look at your neighbor and say, "Welcome, my neighbor." Welcome, my neighbor. Welcome, my neighbor. Oh yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Welcome, my neighbor. Good. Thank you, Kainde. Kainde is very obedient. Thank you. Welcome, my neighbor. Turn to your right, turn to your left, and say, "Welcome, my neighbor." Welcome your neighbor. Welcome your neighbor. Before we go out, go ahead to shoot. All right. Welcome, my neighbor. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right. Thank you, guys. Welcome back. So, I'm sure we have digested everything we have learned so far, right? We have swallowed it. Edith, you still can't hear me? I should be able to hear me. I'm very clear and audible, I think. Welcome. All right, thank you. So I think we'll just go straight into the next framework we are considering, right? We'll go straight into the next framework we're considering. All right, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let me know once you can see my screen. I'm about to share my screen. Let me just know once you can see it so that people said you should look at your neighbor in the spirit. Any way you like, look at them. Now is just welcome them. All right. Let me know once you can see my screen. All right, you should be able to see my screen now, I guess. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Ah, Fatima, what happened to your screen? What happened to your... Okay. How about now? Okay. You should see it soon. You should see it shortly. All right, you should be able to see it now. All right. All right, you can see now, right? Okay, good. Good. So we are going to the second framework that we'll be considering. Okay, great. Great. We want to consider the RISE framework. The first one I said is Moscow. This one is RISE. We have a lot of frameworks. There's this Kano framework. There's weight scale framework. A lot of them. But the cocoa is just understand the whole concept around the framework. Oh, my screen is not clear. Okay, let me try to zoom out. How about now? I think you should be able to see now. Can you see now? Can you see now, please? I don't want to continue without you being with me. Perfect. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Funke. Thank you. Julia, be right back is what is still showing on your own end. Switch to 5G now. Not yet, K. I hold you people with the hand of God and I draw you into my own time. All right, thank you. It's perfect now. Thank you, Funke. Thank you. All right, so Um, so the rights framework, let me just go ahead, right? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Vivian. You're seeing it now. Thank you, Davis. All right. So the rights framework, there are a few things you want to consider, right? You want to consider reach. I'm going to explain you one after the other. So just flow with me. You want to consider the reach, impact, right? Confidence, and the efforts. And I'm going to give you scenarios for each of these. Now, sometime when you want to make a fix or you want to build stuff, right? You want to ask yourself, how many customers will be affected? Remember the other time when I was giving an example, I was talking about, excuse me, I was talking about how um how a customer influenced one of our stakeholders, which is my boss, and he came and told us that we should build a feature, right? Now, if you look at it critically, that customer was looking at it from the angle of his own business, right? Right? Because he's looking at a feature that would favor his own business, right? Because the side of thing I handle is the mobile app for businesses, right? So he's looking at that feature that it would mobile and web app rather. So he's looking at that feature that will favor his own business. Now the question is, this thing, if we build it because of you, how about the million other users that uses this platform? What will be the impact of this thing on those customers, right? What will be the impact? So in the rights framework, you want to consider how many customers will be affected. Now, a quick scenario is, like I said, they want to be able, for example, there is a customer who wants to be able to make transfers, right? They want to be able to make transfers. And what they want to do is they want to transfer without having to use an hardware token. Or they don't want to use whatever it is. They don't want a complicated way of making transfers, right? Which is a good to have. But look at it now. If because of one user, we make a modification to make sure that that one user can transfer without using that token, so to say, what would be the effect on other customers who have been using this app, other customers who really requested for hardware token? Do you understand? Do you understand? So in that prioritization framework, I want to think of what's the impact of this. Now, if I want to fix this, I want to ask this question. How would this benefit? Now, take note. The first thing to note is, how will this modification, how will it affect all the customers? Right? Two, how would this feature or this request, how would it benefit each of the users? Now, take note, I told you that it was someone, an external party, because of his own business, that wanted to have what I just said. But meanwhile, there are about 2 million users who are already used with the system, who already likes the way the system goes, who are fine with what we have. There are even some other users who want to come on board because of that additional level of security. Now, if I decide that let me follow the prompting from this person because of what he said. Now, I'm asking the question of how many users will be affected? One, over 2 million users will be affected if I decide to grant the request of that one user. You understand? Now, what's the benefit on each of the customer? Now, the benefit in the sense that Now, it benefits that one user who is making that request, but does it benefit all of the other users? Are you getting it? I know that you are not getting it, but let me just ask you, are you getting it? Are you getting it? So that if you are not getting it, tell me so that I can come again before I go too far. Are you getting it? Answer. Sharp. All right. Small. Okay. Who else? Okay. All right, good. You see that I can see. All right, Sarah is getting it, but I could sense that a few persons are not getting it. So I will come again. Right, I will come again. Now, in this framework, in this RISE framework, so yeah, let's calm down, and pay attention. Calm down. All of you calm down. I'm seeing all of you, don't worry. I'm seeing all of you. All of you calm down. So I can see you. Settle down. I'm about to come again. All right. I'm about to come again. So this is what I'm saying. This RISE framework, All right. Just hold on. I want you to pay attention. I can sense it when you are getting it and when you are not getting it. Don't worry. And don't ask me how. All right. So just calm down. I want you to calm down and pay attention. All right. So we are discussing this RISE framework, and I'm telling you that there are a few things we consider for the RISE framework. You consider the reach, and that reach in itself means that you want to know how many customers will be affected. Now, you have a list of features that you want to build. You have a list of enhancements that you want to do. Now, the question is, how many customers will benefit from this thing we are building? Now, authentication. How many customers will be affected? You get. How many customers will benefit? You want to know how many customers it will be affected. Now, I gave an example which I want to use to explain. Now, you also want to be sure about your estimate. How sure are you? And you want to know the effort. Now, just hold on. I know you have not understood yet. So, I gave you an example, right? Follow me. I give you an example. In a case where you have a platform, right? You have a platform. Let's say you have a banking app for businesses, right? Follow me. A banking app for businesses. Now, you currently have about 2 million users who are fine using that platform. Now, and you have more users who are coming on board because of certain features and certain way the app is built. Do you understand? Do you get it? Now, having understood that you have 2 million users that are using your platform and are fine, and you have more users who want to come to your platform because of the way it is. Now, somebody now said that they want a feature that is different from what you already have. Do you get it? Now, it could be a customer's feedback to your top management. Now, your top management comes back to you and tell you that this feature, we must have it. Now, this is where the RISE framework comes in. Now, do you get to this point I am now? Now, the RISE framework comes in at this point. Thank you, Sarah. The RISE framework comes in at this point. Now, I'm asking this question. Okay, fine. Now, I'll give an example that, okay, the feature we have now is when you want to make payment, there's an additional level of security where you must impute a token to be able to finally transfer money, right? We have 3 levels of security trying to transfer money. Take note, there are 2 million business users, and there are more business users who wants to come on board because they are able to go through this level of security and they feel their money is secured. Now, the first thing is they want to be able to enter their PIN while they are transferring. After entering their PIN, they want to have a second level of check, which is imputing a token, right? So a customer now came, or a stakeholder now came and had a request that he wants to use your app. But before he can come on board to your app, you need to take off that last phase of security, which is the token. All they want to do is they want to enter their PIN and be able to transfer. You understand? Now, if you look at this critically, this makes sense and it makes it easy for people to transfer, right? Now, having brought that request to you, as a product manager, you don't just rush to it. You don't just rush and accept all you have said. You need to prioritize. Do you get that? Now, for the REST framework, you're asking a certain question. Now, if I choose to do what this guy has requested, if I choose to remove, what's it called? If I choose to remove this token, how many customers will be affected by removing this token? Do you get now? How many customers will be affected? Now, think of it this way. If I remove this token, that would mean that I have to reset every other users, the 2 million users on the platform, to just PIN. Take note. I have to reset every other users on this platform to just PIN. Now, if I do that, what will be the implication on these 2 million users who came to the platform because they want to have an additional level of security? Now, what will be the impact on these people? Now, you can know that the number of users that will be affected will be 2 million. Because of one person, you want to affect 2 million users. Right? Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Please, if you are getting it, let me know. Are you getting it at all? Are you getting it? Please, in your comment section, if you are getting it, let me know. All right, great. So, you want to prioritize. You want to wait and see, okay, if I am building this, how would it affect my customers? If I build in this, how many customers will be affected? Right? If you are building this, how would it benefit the other customers? Right? If I do this, am I confident that it will not affect every other users? Do you get it now? Now, if I do this, what effort is required for me to complete this stuff? Now, you can easily use this framework and learn and know that, okay, this is a low priority. This is important to have. If the case is maybe 2 million, maybe 1.5 million users have been telling you before now that they need that feature that one person is requesting. Now, you can prioritize and say, okay, this is very important. Let us take it. Now, that means that 1.5 million users, it will affect them positively. And that means that more people will want to come to your platform because of what you just introduced to your platform. Now, that means that this thing they are requesting, I weighed it. It will benefit each of my customers. All right. Are you getting it? And you are sure by your estimates, you know that 1.5 million people are affected, 1.5 million people want. You are sure that if this thing is done, it has a good impact on my users. All right. You also want to consider the effort. Okay. Now, for the effort, let me use another example to explain, because it's also some things that you must understand, right? I'm still going to give you another example, right? But I'm just trying to build like that. Build. I mean, English is hard. I'm just building something in your mind. So, for the effort, you want to look at it this way. So, let's say there's a there's a glitch on your platform, right? Maybe. Thank you, Juliet. So there's a glitch on your platform. Hmm? Maybe when people try to initiate transactions, I'm thinking of a perfect way to give you an example. Okay. I think I get one now. All right, you have two payments for Food Easy, right? Our feeding app. We have um, two payments into system, right? One is your Naira this thing, Naira wallet. The second is your cryptocurrency wallet. So on Food Easy, you can either pay with your Naira wallet or pay with your Bitcoin wallet. You understand? Now, there is a glitch with your Bitcoin wallet, or the government gave an order that you must not use crypto anymore or wallet, right? So you not thought of it that no, let me use another example. I'm trying to get a perfect example that we are still going to use that Food Easy. Okay, you have two wallet system. One is the Naira wallet system, and the other one is the Bitcoin wallet system, right? Now they can still pay, but when they try to transfer to wallet through their Bitcoin, scammers are interjecting into that system and they are taking away people's money, right? And that's because there is there is there is a back door. There's an error with the back door, right? That would, I mean, that needs to be looked into. Now, this effort comes in this way. Now, you have two people that are involved. You have your front end engineer, right? And you have the back end engineer. Now, if you are to fix this stuff, right? If you are to fix this stuff, maybe look into debug the issue, try to look at where this issue is coming from and get it fixed, right? And this will take you like 2 weeks. That means that within that 2 weeks, people will be moving your money. And there's a second option of, you know what, front end engineer, just comment out that pay with Bitcoin. Which one do you think? Now, and I'm asking you, back end though, how long do you think it would take you to figure this thing out and fix it so that people can keep using this pay with Bitcoin? He says it will take me 2 weeks. Now, if I looked at it, that means in 2 weeks, my customer will lose a lot of money. Now, I went to the front end guy. This thing, how long will it take you to comment this thing out so that people will not even be able to use this option, but then their money is saved? It takes me just 1 minute. Now, I am looking at the effort. Which do you think I will go for? Don't worry, you will get it, Messi. Maybe you weren't following us from start. So I would rather go for something that would require less effort. So in the rise, okay. So let me give you another example. Don't worry. Let me give you another example. Okay. So can someone help me list out the features we had for our foodism? You people will get it by fire by force. All right. Thank you, Princess. Yes, I will go for the front end guy. All right, because that's a quick fix and a quick win. Yeah, thank you. All right, can someone help me list out the features so that I can also use that to explain this right framework? The 1 minute guide, definitely, because it requires less effort. All right. Okay. All right, let me give you one example. Another example that comes to my mind. So there was a time that we're building a product for an organization, right? So I went for the demo, right? In the demo, they listed out some things that they want, right? And they listed out some things that should be corrected. Now, in the list of things that they want, there are some text on the app that they said they wanted us to use another text, right? They wanted to change their logo, right? They wanted to change their logo, right? So they had a list of things that they want to do, wanted to change some text, wanted to change their logo. Now, and they also requested to have and to have a video calling function, right? A video calling function in their in a part of their app that has to do with training. You understand? Now, looking at this list of things they want, they really don't know the level of effort. We now take note. I need to make them happy, right? I need to make them happy, right? That means I need to give them something. You understand? So, and if I don't make them happy, they won't give me money. Remember, they want to change their logo, they want to change some text on the app, right? They also want to have a video feature in their training aspect of the app. Now, we had already given them the app, but the training feature is just like audio call and chat. But they want to have a video feature. Now, take note, these customers are very important to us because they are actually the one that is bankrolling us, that we're running. It was that we are dependent on their money to service staffs. You understand? Now, I need to do everything in my power to make them happy, right? And making them happy will be delivering at least they want to pay me next tomorrow. And they told me a list of things they want, maybe today. Now, I need to make them happy so that they would fasten or quicken my money. Now, I go back home, I listed out all of the things they wanted to have, the changes on the text, the change in logo, and all of these things. And I also looked at the video calling app. Now, the question is, what effort will it take to change this entire text, change their logo, and what effort would it take to build in a video calling feature? Are you getting it? Now, it's a win-win case, right? I knew that I must give them something so that they can give me my money. You know what I did? I sat down with my team and I asked the question. I said, what is the effort? How long would it take for you to change all these texts? Right? And the answer was, bro, in 2 hours. In 2 hours maximum, we would have changed all these tests because it does not require, it's just text, it's just a quick front end fix, and we can immediately push, we can immediately deploy, right? Now, how long will it take to build in this video calling feature? Now, video calling feature will take 3 days of work. And now take note that I want to make this customer happy. So all I did was, you know what? Let's give them this thing that we're doing in 2 hours. Let's do it in 2 hours. So by next tomorrow, we will push this to them that based on your feedback, we have been able to do what? Do this. Now, when we know we are going to finish this in 2 hours, so we will buy some more time to be able to build in their video calling feature. Now, take note. We looked at it based on the amount of work that is required, right? And we're able to make them happy. So we gave them the text change, the logo change, and we took time to build that app. They gave us our money. You understand? So a lot of times we want to consider these things in the right framework. We want to consider, how many customers will be affected, what's the benefit to each customer when you have a list of features, how sure are you about your estimate? How much work is it required for this person to do this work, right? So let's try to swallow all I've said. When you are done swallowing, now forget about it, because I want to take us to another route. So I just want to make sure that we understand the right framework. All right. Let me give you 1 minute to swallow everything. And all right. All right. Good. So remember, on our Food Easy app, we have user registration, right? We have add 2 more features. I want you to add 2 more features, right? Add 2 more features. Add 2 more features. And that feature would be add what can you add? Add augmented reality. Augment AR for food display. AR for food display. Augmented reality for food display. Add integration with wearable device. Integrating your food app with your smartwatch. Add those one. Add that too. Add that. Who is adding it? Add AR for food display and add integration with smartwatch. You understand? Add it. Add it. Add it. Add it. Add it. Don't worry. You understand why I'm asking you to add it when we get to that point. All right. So let me explain it from. So we have a list of things, right? We have user registration, we have restaurant listing, we have menu display, we have cash management, order tracking, and all of that. So we have this list of features, right? Now, if we have this list of features, we want to ask questions that, okay, this list of features that I have, if I build this feature, how many customers will be affected by this feature? Are we getting it? If I build this feature, what's the benefits of this feature to each of the customers? If I build this feature, how am I sure that this feature is going to benefit these customers? How am I sure that customers will be affected with these features? Right? You have checked for reach. That's how many customers will be affected. You have checked for impact, the benefit. You have checked for the confidence you have. The last thing is you want to check what's the effort that will be required. Now, in the case of our Food Easy app, right, we want to do a demo. You want to do a demo. Sure you get. And we need to demo this app to stakeholders and investors, right? They want a live demo, a live, you know, a live. They want to be able to interact with that product you're trying to build with Food Easy before they will even give you any money. So I've listed out all the things I want to do. Now, I want to find out, because this, the person that wants to, the person that wants to invest in my business want to know the impact, want to know how these things I'm building would affect Dami, that Food Easy app is just in our imaginations. We are just using, for example, in the class. Thank you. So I want to know, I want to demo this app, this Food Easy app. I want to demo it to investors, right? I want to demo it to people that will give me money. So I want to see, okay, out of the list of things I've listed, all these features I've listed, which one of them will affect more customers? Which one of them, I mean, will have more impact on the customers? Ordinarily, you can easily tell that user authentication, you can easily tell that cart management, you can easily tell, some things that are very, very important. And you can also tell how it will benefit each of these customers. Now, when you list all of these things, you also want to know that, okay, maybe we need to show them something so that they can even give us money. We have a list of 8 things that are very important. So, but then we can only, let's know, we have just 2 days to show our investors something, right? So you want to know that, okay, out of this list of things that are important to have, what 3 of them will require less effort? Out of these 8 things, how many can we finish before we go and show our investor this app? What do I mean? I have 8 things that is important, but my investor wants to see something so that I can give me money. Now, I want to know, right, which one is more important? Which one does my customer need? Which one will benefit my customer? And how long? Now, I've known that these 8 things will benefit my customer, but then I want to know how much work is required, because next tomorrow I want my investor to see something. So how much work is required? Okay, maybe item 1, 4, and 2 will just take 2 hours of my developer's time. But number 8 is very important, but then it might take us 2 days. This for 2 days, we will not see money from our investors, right? So so that I won't waste 2 days on one feature, and my investor will not give me money, let me use that 2 days to build 4 items. Do you get? Let me use that 2 days to build 4 items so that my investor can know that, yes, I am working and he can trust me with his money. Hope you understand. So that's how the RISE framework come about, right? Don't worry. I pray the Lord will give you understanding. All right. Do you get it at all? Do you get it? Do you get it? So let me come again. For the RISE framework, you are looking at the reach, the impact, the confidence, and the effort. You understand? The reach. So most of this framework, it just comes. There's no specific framework that you really use. But then I usually would recommend most. But then there's no, when you are on the job, you see all these thought pattern. will keep coming, will just keep coming to you, keep coming to you, keep coming to you. There are cases where you just say, okay, which one is the quick win? Which one is the first win? Which one is the fastest to do? Well, let's do this so that they can even rest for 2 months. There are times where you say, okay, this is a must have, this is should have, this could wait later. So all of this framework will just come into play while you're on the job. Sometimes you would even be doing some things to prioritize what you're working on, right? But then you might not be able to explain those frameworks. All right. So before we go, yeah, your assignment will be to read up these frameworks and try to understand, right? Read up the framework and try to understand. You understand? So before we go, all right, before we go, you see that list of things we have. Sorry, Deborah. So that list of features we have that we listed out. Now, using the Moscow framework, list out what is a must have, what is a should have, and what is a could have. The Moscow framework, the must have, should have, could have, and won't have. So section it. Section it. Section it. It's not the end of the month. It's not the end of the week yet, Faith. I keep my promises, don't worry. So section those list of the features, section them into must have, should have, could have, and won't have. Do you get that? Do you get that? Use the Moscow framework. For now, just use the Moscow framework. And section the list of features I gave you, section it into must have. Which of these features should be a must have for our Food Easy app? Which of these features can be a should have? Is important, not critical. Which of these features can be a could have? Nice to have, but can be postponed. Which of these features can be a won't have? For me, for one, you see that AR, augmented reality, don't worry, it's not necessary. It is totally out of my scope. I don't have time for Wala. You see that I'm even giving you a score already. You don't understand the assignment. So earlier in the class, I listed out offhand, I listed out the features that we will have on our Food Easy app. User registration and all of those. You would see it if you scroll down, you will see it, right? When you see that list of those features, I even added new ones, augmented reality, integration to smartwatches. And I said all of those things that I have listed out. Now, by yourself, taking the Moscow framework, break it down. If you are a product manager and you want to build, which one is a must have? Which one is critical to have? I'm giving you classwork, oh, it's not homework, it's a classwork. Which one is a must have from the list of features? Which one is a should have? It is important but not critical. Which one is of this feature I listed is a could have? Which one is won't have? So I now said me on my own. You see that AR display for food, or that get out. You are not even in my scope. And you see that integration into smartwatch. I want to be ordering food on smartwatch. Baba, I don't have time for that. So use your own understanding of what we have learned. Now section these things into using the Moscow framework. So over to you. And of course, you don't have to buy my own idea. You don't have to buy into my own idea. If you can tell me why this must be a must have, I might agree with you. You can tell me why this should be a should have, I might agree with you. So follow the framework and give me, let me see. All right, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, must have visa restriction correct. Okay, on the tracking. Hold on, Grace. Okay, okay. All right, hold on, guys. I can see. Okay, must have payment gateway. Smartwatches could have. Okay, tell me why. Okay, okay. For me, the multiple payments is a should have. But initially, what's more important? They should pay. So that's just my thought. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much, guys. I'm reading your comments. So you can also go and document it, right? As one of the assignments you would have. Mhm. Uh, all right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I see that. I see what you're doing. Thank you. So let's take it as an assignment and try to, you know, document that. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see when we see. We'll see where we see. We'll see when we see. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much, and